Eh. This is coming out a lot later than what I said it would come out, huh? Yeah. Let's not waste time. This is gonna be a chapter review and a Wano rant. So let's just get on with this. All right. Let's just do this. All right. Cover story starts off with Caesar, attacking everyone, and if Caesar ends up helping Germa escape Katakuri, like whatever, but like Katakuri shouldn't lose. So at most, what Caesar could do is just like, maybe smoke screen and then just get all Germa out. I don't know, but I've kind of lost complete interest in this cover story, even though it had Katakuri in it. So I don't know. A big gripe I have with this chapter specifically is I know Wano was set up like a storytelling arc, but this chapter just didn't do it for me. And like, yeah, I guess everyone being happy and everything is good because, like good things just happened and everything. But the bad thing that happens is like 3 panels down where you see Yamato say that she's staying and not going with the Straw Hats. Oda, what are you doing? Why introduce Yamato at all? There's no point in Yamato existing. She shouldn't, or they shouldn't exist at all. At all. Yamato serves no purpose. All Yamato did the entirety of Onigashima was say she was going to join the Straw Hats, and we were like, okay, sure, whatever, you'll force your way onto. You have a sad backstory like all the other Straw Hats. Honestly, at this point, why not? And she was Kaido's daughter, Kaido's son. Not only that, her devil fruit is also really cool. And then she just stays in the end. Off screen, by the way, she decided this. Not even like on screen, but she just talked to everyone within like a day that she was just gonna stay. Look, I'll get more on that after this chapter. But holy shit, Jesus Christ, this fucking arc, man. Basically, Momo just getting upset, being like, oh, you intentionally snubbed me. Why the fuck would you say bye to literally everyone but me? Which, like, he's got a right to be mad, It's Momo. He's been here since Punk Hazard, that is so long. He's been with the Straw Hats for so long. It's actually insane. And another big problem that I have with this chapter is the flashbacks. This chapter is a Toei moment. This chapter is like literally a Toei moment. Bad decisions, bad choices, bad flashbacks, bad everything. I don't like this chapter. I don't like this chapter at all. Just more flash. This chapter is literally 70% flashback. I'm scrolling through this chapter. It is literally 70% flashback. And then it's just Momo being mad. I guess the comedy with Momo and Kinemon is pretty good here, but finally we get to the Tokage port and, it's just Law saying that next time we'll be enemies. Don't whine to me if we're shooting to kill. Oh, Law, come on. Luffy's your best friend at this point. Come on, man. You love Luffy. You ain't gonna fight him. And see, look, Luffy don't care. He ain't got no thoughts going through that brain. He know Law ain't about to fight him. It's just, Gotcha. Yeah, no. And then Chopper says, see you around, Trav. That was actually really cute. I did like that about this chapter. It gave me flashbacks to Punk Hazard when Law basically used Chopper as a hat. That was so adorable. And then, Momo showing up and basically, honestly, giving a sad goodbye. It was a pretty sad goodbye. I will give Oda that. He does know how to do goodbyes pretty well. Zoro is drawn horrendously this chapter. I know it's such a small thing to point out, but like, man, Zoro is drawn so poorly. Why does he look? I'm still reeling about how he looks. He looks terrible here. He genuinely looks awful here. He looks like he looks like a mountain bandit from like early One Piece. That's what he looks like right here. Also, Luffy flexing that he's a Yonko now is also really nice to see, giving Momo the flag and just basically it's a warning sign for anyone now. So I think that's just really cool of Luffy. And it's just really cool in general to see Luffy go from, I don't necessarily remember if Fishman Island is officially Luffy's territory, but like now he actually has an official territory and Momo's like completely fine with it. So I think that's really cool. Just more stuff on just saying goodbyes, which this chapter is mainly about. And then something that really pisses me off, Momo Kinemon goes, yeah, mark my words, someday I will surpass Kozuki Oden. And Kinemon's like, sure, I will be by your side when you do. And then fucking Yamato pipes up, you talking about me? That's not funny anymore. Which makes every single other funny, not even funny joke about Yamato wanting to be Oden less funny now. It's not funny. Stop. It's not funny. It's really not. And it's really upsetting because now all Yamato serves as is just a one-dimensional Oden wannabe who serves no purpose. I'm gonna go a little bit low tier God on you for a second. You serve no purpose. Your character is literally useless, serving absolutely zero purpose. Zero. You serve zero purpose. More goodbyes. Kid has the coolest look in this chapter, taunting Luffy and Law, and you know, they go down the waterfall. And then another thing that's fucking terrible with this chapter is the words, the Kurozumi were born to burn. I'll get into that after this when I go on my Wano rant. But basically, chapter ends with a curtain, the final curtain, and that's it. That's the chapter. I know, super bare bones, dog shit chapter. I hated it. This is one of the worst chapters in One Piece in my opinion. I genuinely do think that this is a bottom 3 One Piece chapter. I really did not like this, which makes me just makes me wonder, why did Oda want to draw that panel so bad? It is so mid. It's such a mid panel to want to draw. I guess like he just wanted to get out of Wano super quickly like everyone else. But yeah, there's really nothing that special about that panel other than it looking like a curtain, which okay, but like there's so many other Wano panels that just look infinitely cooler. Now, I have my notes pulled up. Let's get into the Wano disappointment. Let's get into why I think Wano was the most disappointing arc I've seen in a minute. Since the second half of Death Note, this is the most disappointing shit I've ever seen. So let's get into it. First, a good majority of Wano being split into threads, not being mentioned, or, you know, not being finished. Basically, a bunch of Wano plot threads just sat there, untouched, unfinished, and getting into some of those. Zoro, what happened with Yasui? He was like, oh, I'm gonna kill Orochi for killing Yasui. Onigashima comes, Zoro, not a single word more of Yasui. Dude never mentioned Yasui a single other time in Wano after his death. You could have at least given him like small side panel. You literally gave a silhouette a small side panel in one of the most recent chapters, but you just give fucking Zoro nothing for Yasui. Absolutely nothing. It's so frustrating. Not only that, but Zoro almost got like no development this arc, in my opinion, other than a sword, other than a new sword and having to overcome Enma. That's it. That's all his development was. There was no personal growth. There was no character growth outside of fighting. This is supposed to be Zoro's arc. Where's the development? Where's his lineage? Where's anything for Zoro other than him just getting Enma? Literally, I can't remember the sword name off the top of my head, but it's literally like the Need Aikitetsu, right? Why does he not have it? Why did we just leave it in Wano? Why introduce these swords if Zoro's not gonna do anything with them? It's so, like, man, Oda, you dropped the ball on so many things. Oh yeah, by the way, mentioning Zoro never visited Ryuma's grave. That was the one thing that I really wanted from Zoro this arc, was to visit Ryuma's grave after returning Shusui, and he didn't do it once after the arc ended. So upsetting. In my opinion, Wano really only gave a few good fights. That's all Wano served a purpose for. It was like 4 or 5 years of build up for a few good fights. That could have happened way sooner. They could have happened so much sooner than when they happened. And I get like Luffy had to do that so like you could draw out the arc a little bit more, but like still, dude, if you're gonna draw out the arc this hard and then just even inevitably having to rush through the end, what's the point of all this build up? Pointless, right? It's pointless. Absolutely pointless. Speaking of, Yamato bait and switch. Let's get into that. Yeah, horrible decision. Why build this character up like she's gonna join the Straw Hats just for her to decide off screen that she just doesn't want to join? I changed my mind. I don't want to join. I'm good. I want to tour Wano like Odin did. Bitch, Luffy and Zoro were knocked out for a whole week. You could have walked around Wano in that time. What the fuck do you mean you want to tour Wano? Fucking, it's so dumb. It's such a cop-out, which makes me think Carrot's probably hiding on the Sunny, right? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What did Carrot do this arc? What did she do other than get fucked by Parasparrow? I'll answer that. Nothing. Carrot did nothing. She had no screen time. She did nothing. She hasn't done anything since Whole Cake. She's done nothing. Does she deserve to be a Straw Hat? No, she doesn't. Neither does Yamato at this point anymore. I was on the boat for Yamato being a Straw Hat, but now since this stupid shit has happened, I just want Yamato's character to crash and burn and never be mentioned again. And Luffy saying, oh, you guys can join my crew whenever you want. If we fucking come back to Wano and Yamato joins the crew immediately, do you know how fucking stupid that is? Why not let Yamato join now so she could get character development instead of being a one-dimensional character that has no development? It makes no sense. It's so dumb. What was Oda thinking? Sorry. I know I'm being a little bit pretentious here, but like, come on, man. You could have done so much more. Another thing I want to get into is Chopper not curing the Smile Fruit victims. That goes against Chopper's entire ideology. It literally goes against everything Chopper stands for. Chopper's goal is to cure every single disease. I don't know about you, but I would count those Smile Fruit victims as a disease. Chopper needs character development. Because, like, yeah, Chopper did get, like, honestly, I'll admit, Chopper got some pretty good character development in Onigashima by healing everyone with the Oni virus and even bitch slapping Queen, which I thought was pretty funny. I will admit, Chopper did get that, but he needs more. Because Chopper really hasn't done anything post time skip other than heal the Ice Oni virus. That's all Chopper's done since the time skips happened. And what's the point of training all that if we can't use you for fighting because you're not that strong, so you're not going to get any strong opponents like that, and the one thing you have is healing, but you obviously don't want to do that anymore, so what's the point of even having you on the crew? There's none. Not a single bit. Big Mom's ship and her crew. L. Fat fucking L. Fat fucking L of a crew. Fat L of a ship. Fat L of a plotline. Fat L. Big Mom sucks. Her crew sucks. Oda dropped the ball again. Oda dropped the ball again on another thing, which is a common occurrence in this arc. Wano is just completely missed opportunities and dropping the ball. That's what Wano is to me. That's what Wano is. And I'll rate the art when I'm done with my rant. But what purpose did Big Mom's crew and ship serve? Other than, like, Parasparrow being beat up by Inuyarashi and Nekomamushi. Nothing. Again, nothing. Literally nothing. They just got thrown off the waterfall, and then fuck it. That's it. We don't know what happened. Maybe they'll fight the Straw Hats when they go down the waterfall, but who fucking knows? Who fucking knows, man? Who knows? A comparison I want to make real quick. Think about Dressrosa. Did Dressrosa not do what Wano wanted to do before Wano existed? Think about it. Dressrosa had a country in turmoil. Luffy saves it, gets a super fucking cool upgrade, and like almost everything in Dressrosa was really fucking cool. You know, Sabo returning, Luffy and Law teaming up against Doffy, which, by the way, I think Doffy is the second best villain. I think Katakuri is the best. I think Doffy is the second best villain, and kind of fucking, we'll get into him in a second. But no, Dressrosa, basically everything was good, even though, at least in the anime, a lot of Toei moments happened, you know, with Rebecca and the whole flashback and everything like that. But that's understandable because it's the anime, and let's be honest, the One Piece anime is some fucking trash. Dressrosa literally is just better Wano before Wano. And I think Oda tried to re-spark that magic that he hit with Dressrosa with Wano, but just did it and it flopped. And a big reason why I think it did flop. Nice transition. Yeah, Oda should have cut characters from this arc. He should have. I think he should have cut Hawkins. I think he should have cut Drake. I think he should have cut... Honestly, I think Apu kind of worked here, but he could have wrapped that up a lot quicker than he did. I think he could have... I think for the most part, that's the characters he could have removed. He could have removed Marco, because Marco didn't serve anything but like a few panels of talking, and that's like all Marco did. He was just kind of there, said a few things, took up panel space and time, and then just did fuck all. So you could have removed him too. I wouldn't have cared. Which, if he would have did that would have left so much more room for so many more characters to get more development, like your Zoros and your Sanjis and your everything else. It just felt like Oda tried to do too much in one arc. Our physical cells in Japan, they're kind of tanking, right? So we gotta hurry up and get this done so we could just get into the final saga and just hype everything up and get our sales back up. So not much you could do about it, but just a disappointment. Getting on to the actual good fights that I thought happened this arc. I thought the few good fights that happened this arc were Luffy versus Kaido, the rooftop battle with, you know, the rooftop guys, Sanji versus Queen, even though it did feel a bit too short, but if you binge read like specifically the Sanji versus Queen fights, it's actually a longer fight. It's just it got split up, which is a big thing that I hated about this arc. I really didn't like how Oda kept splitting up the fights like that, because it really made the fights that were good less good than they could have been, because you'll have to end up going back and just rereading like the fight chapters specifically one after another, like skipping a whole bunch of things. So I don't know, I just didn't like that. Zoro versus King, which is funny because I know I kind of trashed on Zoro, but to be honest, he kind of deserves it this arc because he didn't do shit other than just like have a lot of screen time where he kind of just sat there or got mad and did nothing about it and then just got a sword. So like I said, there's like so much we're missing. I also thought, I actually think a sleeper for potentially, honestly, one of the best fights of this arc is Robin versus Black Maria. I really love that arc. Yes, I am a huge Robin simp, but there's a big reason for that. Is because Robin is fucking amazing. I love Robin so much. I really loved her fight with Black Maria. I love Sanji having to call Robin in to beat Black Maria because Sanji has grown past his Enies Lobbies days to where he doesn't feel like he has to do everything on his own. And, you know, calling off Robin, and then Robin's new move, I forgot what it's called, but it's really fucking cool. I really loved Robin this arc. I'm also really glad she didn't get captured, because fuck me, I did not want to do another capture arc in One Piece. There's been so many capture arcs of characters having to be rescued, or Luffy having to break himself out of somewhere. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think I could handle another rescue arc. Please, Oda. Please don't do another rescue arc. I beg you. Frankie versus Sasaki was also a pretty decent fight, even though it was pretty quick. You know, just seeing Frankie, honestly, is just such a treat. I love Frankie so much. I love most of the Straw Hats that actually are cool and get good development when they get development. Also, Frankie running over Big Mom was really funny. It was honestly probably like a top 3 comedy moments in Wano. I feel like I am missing a fight here, but if I think about it, I'll come back to it. Let's get into Aramaki real quick. Admiral Greenbull, Ryokugyu, the guy shrouded in mystery since the Reverie. We've all wanted to see him. He comes in, he gets fucked up by the scabbards. The scabbards who are missing Izo and Ashura Doji because they died. He's getting beat the fuck up by these guys, by the way. He's getting beat up by Momo, who doesn't even know how to use his fruit correctly still. He's getting beat up by fucking Yamato, whose Conqueror's haki is super weak, and he's like, oh, you got some hockey there. What the fuck? And then he's racist. What the fuck? So it's like, not only is he a piece of shit, but he sucks at fighting too. Like, if you're gonna be a piece of shit in One Piece, at least get some hands, right? But nah, dude shat his pants and ran away like a weirdo when Shanks flaunted his hockey from like fucking 100 miles away. Like, bro had his 5G hockey from fucking UK to America connection, and Aramaki shit himself and just off. And he was like, fuck that, I'm not getting involved. I only wanted to fight Straw Hat Luffy, but I didn't. His reasoning is so stupid. Oda fucked up so many things here with so many characters. He didn't want to go to Wano because he didn't want to fight Kaido, but he's gonna try to kill the guy that just beat Kaido and is fully healed now. Let that sink in. That make much sense to you? No, not at all, because it doesn't. It makes no fucking sense. No sense at all. Another thing, what happened to all the marine ships outside of Wano? Did Shanks' crew take them out? I guess we'll never know, because all Shanks did was come up to promote his movie. That's all Shanks was used for here, was to just show off long distance 5G hockey and to just dip. That's all Shanks. And like, yeah, we get 2 chapters of Shanks, but I mean, come on, man. It's just to promote the movie. And now my thing is, if Oda had to end Wano quickly just so he could try to put Shanks in here to promote Film Red, this is My Hero Academia levels of fucked up, because you're actively trying to ruin your story, your canon story, to promote your non-canon story. It's so stupid. I don't know, man. Wano just feels like a huge waste. I don't know. It feels like such a huge waste of potential, because it had so much potential. Wano had so much potential. Wano, in my opinion, had the most potential out of any other arc in the series, and it was immediately into the ground, just going straight up, potential, and you fucked it. You dropped everything. Well, not everything, actually, because I'm gonna get into the good. You think I was just gonna talk about the bad? No, I'm a little bit neutral, even though I do hate this arc a lot. I'm gonna give the good of Wano. Starting off with Sabo. We finally learned a little bit of what happened at the Reverie. Thank fuck. Took you forever, but we finally got some news. Sabo killed Nefertari Cobra. No, Vivi's gone missing, like we all predicted. Basically, it was just a lot of stuff like we predicted, except for Sabo actually saving Kuma. We weren't expecting that, were we? Now, there could be a difference of what saving means. You know, Sabo could have like took Kuma away and then had to put him down, like Old Yeller style, maybe. Like, who knows? But since Vivi's gone missing, I am gonna throw in a little bit of a theory that I have now. You know, the theory where, you know, Kuma was gonna slap Vivi away to like the next island that the Straw Hats are going to. I think Straw Hats are going to Sphinx Island next, and I do think that Vivi is being paw fruited to Sphinx Island. So I do think the reason for Carrot and Yamato not joining, if Carrot doesn't join, is so Vivi can join officially next chapter. That's just kind of like a theory that I have. There's not much to it. Gear 5th, obviously, that's another one of the goods for Wano, obviously. Everyone loves Gear 5th. Really cool design. You know, being told that throughout the 1,046 chapters, we've had the complete wrong perception of Luffy's Devil Fruit the entire time, and it's actually mythical Zoan. Like what's his name? Sengoku. I thought that was really cool. I think Oda did handle Gear 5th really well. I think having it be the most ridiculous power in the world for like the most ridiculous character almost in all of manga, in my opinion. I think it fits Luffy really well. You know, it goes back to like early One Piece days too, because it gives them a bunch of like comedy aspects and, you know, the Toon Force abilities. It's a really cool idea. I do want to see a lot of the drawbacks and a lot of like the limitations of Gear 5, because as we know just right now, it just like help him steamroll Kaido very easily. Speaking of Kaido versus Luffy, I think this is by far the best fight in Wano, mainly because of stuff like Gear 5, but also because we get to see more of Kaido. I'm gonna go into a little bit of more of a negative, because I did forget to mention it earlier. Kaido's backstory. There's nothing to say because nothing was shown other than, you know, oh, Kaido was a military guy and then he went away and now he's a bad guy. That's what Kaido did, and that's his backstory. Woohoo, Oda. Good backstory. And for all the people that are like, oh, Oda's just waiting to give out Rox's whole full story before we could get more of Kaido's backstory. That sounds like a bunch of hopium and copium to me. I think you're wrong. I think when Oda does go into Rox's backstory, it might show Kaido, but it's not gonna show like Kaido's backstory completely. It just wouldn't really make sense to me. But I did like Kaido's drunken phases throughout the fight with Luffy. I do think the fight was handled really well. And for all the people that were like, oh, I didn't want Luffy to beat Kaido with a punch. Luffy is a punch character. How else is he gonna win a fight? You just want him to fucking shoot him in the face? That's not how Luffy fights. Like, I don't understand why people were so upset with the way that fight ended. I think it was ended perfectly. I think that was ended the way that it should have ended, with Luffy saying that he wants to create a world where no one goes hungry. I think if that's Luffy's true goal that, you know, Sabo was talking about like all the way back then with Ace, and, you know, the whole thing where Roger also had a secret agenda too. And I think if that's Luffy's secret agenda, I don't think that's a bad agenda. I think it fits Luffy perfectly. Like I said, like all of Luffy's fights have ended in either a big punch or a fast punch, so I don't really understand what people were expecting. You want him to end it in a big kick this time? A fast kick? Like, you want him to belly bump him? I don't know. I also think Kaido and Big Mom being thrown into the volcano was a good idea until Oda dropped the ball on that too, and they're presumably dead, which they probably aren't dead. If they are dead, then the agenda for Akainu being top one is oh boy. King of Lightning is going to be in the mud if Kaido and Big Mom are dead. But I think I've said enough about Kaido versus Luffy. I'm gonna get into Sanji versus Queen. I think Sanji versus Queen is the second best fight in Wano, in my opinion. I think it is the second best. Mainly just off the fact that we get more Sanji development about, you know, Sanji thinking he accidentally hit the girl, I forgot her name, into Sanji slowly but surely becoming more Germa-like, but keeping his personality like how his mother wanted. I think it's a really cool idea of Sanji just basically getting the best of both worlds, to where he keeps his personalities but also you know, gets all his Germa abilities and everything. I think it's really cool. I'd still like to learn more about Sanji's mother, that like we need to know a little bit more about Sora, just so if Sanji is a Lunarian, that would just make Sanji potentially even more of a threat, because it would also go in hand with Sanji being like, oh, I'm gonna cause the most trouble for the world government. I know that's actually not gonna happen, but as a Sanji fanboy, I would love it. It's also why I love Tolkien. I just love Sanji development. I love characters with a lot of good development, and that's what Sanji had, and that's what makes Sanji one of my favorite characters in One Piece. I love good character development. I just do. There's not much else to say about that fight other than it was pretty quick, and Sanji kind of like, after he got his exoskeleton, he just kind of like no-diffed Queen with Ifrit Jambe, and it was kind of crazy to see, which I'll get into what I'm thinking now after I get through with the goods. Zoro versus King. I think Zoro, I don't necessarily remember that fight a lot more other than, you know, Minority Hunter Zoro coming out for a little bit. That was a good funny meme on Twitter for a bit. And, you know, I think Zoro got off a little bit too okay on this arc, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I do think that Zoro definitely got off a lot easier than he should have this arc, especially having like all his bones broken, being healed, and supposed to have like double the side effects. And like I know they made the whole gag after Luffy beat Kaido, like, oh, Zoro's not responding, like, oh no, like Zoro's not gonna die, it's Zoro. Like, come on, man. He needed more of like an actual punishment, and maybe we'll see that like after Wano, but for now, I still think the way that Zoro was handled after the fight, not the best. We're gonna get back into some of the negatives now. No Straw Hat bounties. Oda, please. I don't care about Kid's bounty. Kid did nothing in Wano. Which, by the way, Kid and Law versus Big Mom, mid-fight. Mid fight. Such a mid fight. It was boring, and I didn't care for it. And then Big Mom just got washed. Okay. Like, she got washed by an injured Kid in Law. Like, fucking, I don't care. Fine. Kid, like, just got carried, basically. And like, speaking of, why are Luffy, Law, and Kid's bounties the same if Luffy's an emperor? Please explain to me. Please explain to me why that makes any sense. Oh, because Kaido and Big Mom's bounties together were 9 billion. The world government and everyone knows that Luffy beat Kaido by himself, basically. There should be no correlation between the three of them. They should not have the same bounty. I hate that idea, and I hate the Coppers thinking that everything just fits perfectly. It doesn't. It's stupid. It's a dumb decision. Speaking of, there's also a few things that I failed to mention. Underwater Wano, cool. Pluton being in there too, really cool. Nothing happened. They just walked out, and then nothing happened. Which is making me think that maybe Blackbeard is going to Wano. And that's the thing that he's like, oh, if the world government's not gonna go after, we'll do it. And I'm thinking maybe he'll use the trimmer fruit to just completely just destroy the walls of Wano, you know, let everything out, and then Pluton will come out, which will make Luffy and everyone come back to Wano. But I kind of hope they don't go back to Wano at this point, because in my opinion, if they're gonna go back to Wano, there's no point in leaving it in the first place. That's just my opinion. I'm thinking that's about all I have to say for Wano as a whole. For a big summary, I think it's just a bunch of good ideas, good plot lines, and honestly good building and good build up. Really good build up, actually, just for a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of drop balls, and a lot of things that just could have gone better in the grand scheme of things. What would I rate this arc out of 10? Honestly, the more I think about Wano, and because I'm actually gonna like reread through Wano entirely after this, the more I'm thinking about Wano, and the more I'm thinking about especially the last act of Wano, it's like a 4.5 out of 10. Maybe a 5 if we're lucky. But it was just so, I don't want to say mid, because it wasn't a mid arc. It was good in a lot of aspects, but in the aspects that it was bad, it was terrible. Like, really awful. Like, the worst we've ever seen in One Piece, in my opinion. It's just a super mixed arc. So actually, you know what? No, I'll give it knocked 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. That's the best Wano gets from me. Sorry if you thought that I wanted to rate it higher, but unfortunately, no. No, not at all. Not at all. So yeah, I guess that's it for the Wano rant. This recording is coming up around 40 minutes now, so that's gonna be a pretty long video to watch through. If you've skipped to just the end and you wanted to hear me talk about my final thoughts, thank you for at least hearing me out. If you watched through the whole things, especially thank you, because you listened to all my points, even if they were a little bit whiny and gripey and everything, and I'm glad you're giving me a chance. Yeah, I am sorry that this did take a few more days than I thought it did. Yesterday, I kind of was not in the best mind space. If you saw the videos about Twitter, no, you didn't. It's all good now. Speaking of, my link to my Twitter will be in the description. You'll never guess, but I do a lot of complaining there too. So if you want to see me complain, or if you want to just see my general ideas about how I want to take my content, or just about general ideas that I have in general, just check it out. I know this is being really self-promoed right now. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't like self-promo like this. So I'm gonna hurry up and try to get through this. Sorry. Subscribe if you want, like if you want. I'm not gonna bug you too much. You can. It's up to you. I think that's gonna be it for me. I can't really remember anything right now else, but if I do, I probably will make a video on it separately. It will be probably a short video, but hopefully it will. I'm actually thinking that I'm gonna put background music on this video. I'm gonna try at least. So don't get your hopes up. It might not just be ambience in the background. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if I know. We'll see if I don't get lazy. It's currently 5 in the morning, so I'm going to sleep after this. I'm not actually gonna upload this like straight. Sorry, this is super long. Background music maybe potentially. Like, subscribe, follow Twitter, everything. Bye. Sorry for self promoting for so long. Hi, post editing knocked here. I just wanted to say this is the actual outro because that was a hot fucking mess. I'm sorry for that. Yeah. Hope you didn't mind my editing because I am very new to this still. I'm gonna try to get better as time goes on and basically just make everything better so people actually enjoy my stuff and, you know, they'll engage with it. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Peace, guys.